You've talked about turnarounds and model sheets, expression sheets. What are kind of the tools or the skills that you would say probably every character designer who wants to be serious about the business should probably know how to do?
There's a host of skills that you probably should have, but I think the ones that are probably problematic for some people are things like you need to be able to draw hands and feet, right? There are a lot of people that just avoid doing that, right? I don't want to draw hands, I don't want to draw feet. I'm just gonna pretend that that's okay, you know. Like I've looked at a lot of portfolios and people draw these characters, they've just got like this beautiful face, you know, proportions are all looking good, but then they've got these like stumps for hands or something. Like, where are their hands? Like, I'm not good at drawing hands. Well, you need to be good at drawing hands. You kind of have to. That's part of the deal. Um, I think just anatomy in general is usually important. Being able to wrap your mind around 3D form, right, and how to visualize a character in 3 dimensions, especially 2D animation. You need to be able to show the animators, this is how the character moves, right? This is what they look like when they're jumping and when they're doing this or whatever. It's still important in 3D, right, to show a lot of that stuff. But now, especially in bigger, larger studios and stuff, a lot of the time you just do like a design. You don't have to do model sheets because they've got excellent modelers and riggers and animators that can just they understand enough about the design, they can just go from there, right? But when you're working, especially in smaller studios and in 2D animation, that sort of thing, you need to be able to visualize the character in 3D and moving. And then the subtleties of expression, I think, can be tricky. I think just being an observer of people and being able to draw people and all their different attitudes and movements and that sort of stuff is, vital. But
Yeah, makes sense. Is that a monomyth maquette behind you there? Or
yes, I didn't actually sculpt this. This was done by Borislav Kacheshki, who's amazing. And then he sent me the file and I had it 3D printed. But yeah, it turned out awesome. But this
that's
was the
awesome.
character that was like I projected myself onto,
Huh.
and he was really hard for me. Which you look at the character. The design isn't all that complex, right? But it took me forever because I was trying to just tell too much. And ultimately, I just decided it was most important for him to feel strong and clumsy. This is like graceful and clumsy. Like he's got all these contradictions. Anyway, it turned out okay, but it gave me a really hard time for a while. But